Good morning everyone, and welcome back to the Dark Souls 2 livestream series. I just got done doing a livestream in a different game, and I still have quite a bit of time left to livestream in general, and I've got everything set up, so I thought I may as well do some more Dark Souls 2. Now, the first thing that I wanted to say is, obviously I was getting a little bit frustrated towards the end of the last livestream, because I kept on dying, and I guess it was a very unrewarding livestream in general. There was a lot of grinding going on, but not much results coming from the grinding in question. So I was obviously repeatedly killing those ruined sentinels near the King's Gate in Drangleic Castle, and I think I got technically 2 armor pieces, but they were both the same piece of armor. It was the gauntlets, and for the amount of time that I spent doing that, that was obviously very unrewarding. Not much came of that time that I spent. But, and also hello Autonomic. In addition to that, I took the time to try and get the, the Drake Blood Ultra Greatsword from those knights in the dragon area, and I had even less success because I got nothing. In that case, I was trying to get one thing, didn't get it. In the other case, I was trying to get 4 pieces of armor, and technically only got 1. So, what I can say is that off camera, I did actually do some grinding for both of those things. I haven't actually gotten any more pieces of the Ruined Sentinel armor set, but that's alright. What I did happen to get, though, or what I did manage to get, is the Ultra Greatsword, so that's one good thing. I, however, do not want to give you the illusion that I somehow nailed it immediately once I stopped going live. I can assure you that it was about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half of farming to actually get that Ultra Greatsword. I think what made it most challenging was that they were 2 enemies, like only 2, and to access them, I had to get through several enemies first. I realized that the best strategy was actually to coax the last 2 away from the door and then try to get to the door, but you see, it's not that easy. Like, sometimes they will manage to catch you with their attacks before you can get there. One thing that you have to understand is that in this game, you will have some attacks from enemies where it's not just a single impact, it's almost there is a period of time where the attack will still be effective and it will hit you, and that coupled with poor ADP when trying to roll means that you can very easily get caught in attacks that you otherwise would be able to avoid. So I was having a lot of trouble with that, and, well, not a lot of trouble, but on occasion, when trying to run past those enemies, I would die. And I think that really was the challenge with that particular grind. It was that it was only 2 enemies, and I couldn't get to them immediately. It did take some time just to have the opportunity to kill them. And occasionally I would die to them as well. It just happens, you know? Sometimes when you're taking only 2 hits to die by these enemies, you can get caught. They'll do something stupid. And I think what was also very difficult about the enemies using these Ultra Greatswords, of which there were 2, again as I said, my shield didn't seem to be very effective against them. It didn't even seem like they were dealing damage through my shield because it was something other than physical damage. It seemed as if my shield was unsuccessful in blocking the attack completely, like they were hitting through my shield. I don't know if it's a glitch, I don't know if it's something specific to this weapon, I don't know if it's something specific to those enemies, but it was pissing me off. It was just extraordinary. I captured a little bit of it while I was recording in the last video of Dark Souls 2 that I did, but I was experiencing a lot off camera as well, and I'm pleased to say that it's over now. I have gotten through that difficulty, and I have managed to get the weapon. So just to reiterate the purpose behind this weapon, I say reiterate, but I may not have even explained it in the previous recording. I don't really remember. But the intention behind this weapon is to have something that scales well with my strength with this build, that is then going to be buffed with Sunlight Blade. Sunlight Blade obviously adds lightning damage to your weapon, which will therefore scale with your faith. So I think it's treated as adding lightning BNS, which naturally scales with faith, but for some reason in this game they don't actually show you the end result of that increased damage. So in other games, they will actually show you how strong your weapon is as a final value in your character status when you have actually applied the buff. But in Dark Souls 2, and possibly in the game that preceded it as well, there is no reflection of the additional damage in your status screen. It may also be the case in Demon Souls, although I can't remember clearly, so there you go. What I'm actually going to do is replay, or rather reload, my Twitch playback because it's not giving me a video preview at the moment. Am I live or am I not? I had better be live. It's saying that I'm live. Am I live on the desktop? It says that I'm live on the desktop, and Autonomic seems to be watching, so... For some reason, Twitch on mobile, yeah, I am live. It's just Twitch on mobile is completely shit. That's true. When you close it, it doesn't actually close, so I have to properly go and close the application, and then reload it. Thank you, Twitch on mobile, for being awkward and unhelpful. Alright. Everything's under control, and I am indeed live. That's what we want to confirm at this time. There's nothing more annoying than doing an introduction to a live stream and then nothing gets recorded, or there's something wrong with the recording that deems it unsalvageable. Alright, what I have been using, and this is another element to the frustration of all this grinding, I have been dying a lot. You know, there's been a real readjustment period that I've had to go through to play Dark Souls 2 after playing a lot of Elden Ring recently, and it has resulted in frequent deaths. You have a finite number of human effigies in this game. And you do actually lose a lot of health before it stops reducing your health with every death. So you can see my health at the moment is perfectly fine because I think I am currently alive. But I do have the Ring of Binding equipped, which I actually got in the previous livestream when I killed, or sorry, shortly before killing the old Dragon Slayer. I got it from a chest. I have been making use of that ring. It helps a lot. Obviously it's a Demon Souls ring that didn't exist in Dark Souls 1, but made a comeback in this game. So, it's a useful ring when you're grinding enemies. Now, I'm actually going to start off this live stream by doing a little bit of grinding. Not much, but just a little bit of grinding of these enemies. I'm not going to make use of this weapon, although I could. Maybe it would actually be more damaging than my other weapon. My... not Drakekeeper's Great Hammer, but my Dark Sacred Chime Hammer. I think the Ruined Sentinels might have some resistance to Dark, or perhaps it's not that. I think it's just that they have a lot of health. That was Velstat that I was having trouble with. I may do Velstat in this recording, we'll see. I just don't know if I'm in the mood to do that or not. One thing that I will say also, just at the outset, is that this live stream is not going to be as long as the last one. This is going to be about a 1 hour and 20 to 1 hour and 30 minute long live stream, I think. I do try to go for 2 hour long ones, but I'm a little more inclined to, when it's necessary, do shorter live streams when it's something like this in Dark Souls versus, say, a Monster Hunter live stream. There's less people watching. It's just what happens. So, let's apply our buff. It's a good way to test out our new weapon. 2 fairly easy attacks. I did make an attempt to roll there. In fact, I did, at some point, literally press the button to change my chime to a shield, and then it simply didn't respond to me, so that was unhelpful. I can see that the amount of damage I'm dealing is a little bit higher than my Sacred Chime. My Sacred Chime Hammer is sitting around, I would say about 100 damage less than what I'm dealing to this enemy here. This Sentinel. I'm gonna have to roll through that. One thing that I'm going to mention in an update video, I will do an update video soon, just letting you know that it's going to come, perhaps not imminently, but within the next week, I will do an update video. I am of the mind at this stage to do more Dark Souls than I have recently. Dark Souls used to feature a little bit, well, not Dark Souls, I should say Souls games. The Souls games used to feature more prominently on my channel, and I want to return to that. Just for a little bit of variety. I have become recently disillusioned with the channel. Not in a really terrible way, but it's been there. Well, there you go, first try. First one that I killed, I managed to get the leggings. How nice is that? So that's 2 armor pieces now, 2 different armor pieces. So we're getting there. 2 out of 4. Apparently the chest piece is the hardest one to get. I don't know if that's being confirmed, or if that's just someone's placebo at work. You know, they have the impression that it's the hardest one to get based on their personal experience, but it may be the same drop rate as the other pieces. Who knows? When it comes to the chances of getting something, you do really need solid numbers, otherwise the impression that you have really could just be nothing. It could just be bad luck. But, yeah, to get back to what I was saying, I have recently become a little bit disillusioned with the channel. It's just the idea that I'm putting a lot of my free time, which really, in the long term, in my life, would be better spent doing other things, into doing recordings that are becoming progressively less enjoyable. I'm still enjoying myself. Like, when I'm actually doing it, it's fun to do Monster Hunter recordings. It's just, the work that I'm putting in no longer has that element where something is going to come of this one day. It's not there anymore. I used to, I guess, labor under the fantasy that one day I would pick up traction within the Monster Hunter community, but it's... Not only am I not getting that traction, I don't think I really want that traction either. I don't want a wider viewership, which would then poison that really nice viewing community that I have now. And so I start to question, what is it that I actually want out of my live streams? And I thought, well, a good place to start would be just doing other things. Like, the reason why I've done mostly Monster Hunter recordings is because that is what most people want to see, who watch my channel. But I think if I branch out into more Souls recordings, that's probably something that is going to simultaneously provide variety to keep things fun for me, but also it's going to be the most likely thing that other people are going to want to watch. Well, not other people, I mean the same people who are watching my Monster Hunter stuff, they are more likely to watch my Souls recordings than, say, Castlevania or just any other random game that I'm playing. So that's the approach that I'm taking at the moment. I don't know if it's effective or not. There is actually more to say on that, but I will leave that for the update video that is to come in the future. I am very much out of range there. I'm probably going to do 3 runs of this in total. I am conscious of the fact that I have limited time to make use of this buff. What a sluggish way to do a running attack. He does a little twirl, like he is a fucking ballerina. I don't require any sort of demonstration of your dexterity and footwork. What I really want to see is the monster, or rather the enemy, getting hit immediately as I do my running attack. That is what I would prefer. Don't need anything fancy. Yeah, it's a double feature. That's a good point. Good way to describe it. Ethan recommends Dragon Quest swords. I mean, of course, the thing with Dragon Quest swords is that I've done too much of that game. I've done, I think, 2 Let's Plays and a live stream of that game. Like a live stream series. So, like what? Am I going to become a Dragon Quest swords live streamer now? Is that going to be my forte? My niche area? There you go. I don't know. For a period of time there, my weapon actually just became yellow without the lightning effect, which looked really stupid. Almost had a Simpson-themed weapon there. Simpson-themed weapon. Perhaps we could rename Sunlight Blade to Simpson Blade, which is one of the funniest jokes that I've come up with in the last 10 seconds. Ethan, that video idea you were mentioning before will not work with me. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea, but it's not what I want, and you know why, I think. You know that I don't play Monster Hunter for playthroughs. I play Monster Hunter to focus on one character. When I have to start a new Monster Hunter character, I am miserable. I don't like that. Doesn't mean your idea is bad, it just means that it doesn't suit the way in which I play Monster. So, I have no desire to do that. Homer's Blade, yes. It makes me think of Homer the author, but yes. Homer Simpson, in this case, would be the Homer in question. Well, I suppose so, Ethan. I mean, we could try it. If I were ever to do it, it would be with you. But it sounds complicated. I don't know how to make it work, like to have both of our screens on the stream at the same time. I guess I could try to have... Yeah, I don't know. I suppose it could work. But a 24-hour stream, that's crazy. I don't even know the logistics of being able to make a 24-hour stream work. I've never even attempted it, nor considered doing it, but... yeah. Probably not a 24-hour stream. I'd become manic by the end of it, which would probably be entertaining in and of itself, but... if you thought I was crazy just ordinarily, you'd see a really crazy version of Doomlink if I was doing a 24-hour long live stream. But that's probably the norm, isn't it? No one's going to be behaving normally after a 24-hour live stream. Surely not. I don't know. I'll put it in my back pocket, Ethan. I'm not making any promises, but... okay, let's do one more round of this, and then I will work on something else. For the build, that is to say. Oh, he's gonna kill me. That was close. Alright, you stay over that way. No, no! Fucking hell. You can see that I'm becoming a little bit more comfortable with controlling my character. It's just what happens when you're actually playing the game frequently rather than playing it for the first time in many, many months, and then trying to work off whatever muscle memory has been developed or made use of in Elden Ring to play this game. I thought I had my shield raised and was about to complain until I realized that I didn't even have my shield equipped. So... if I have reason to complain, I would be best, or rather I'd be best placed, to direct my complaints to myself rather than to the game itself. You can maybe stop jumping around and start fighting me. That'd be great. So depending on whether it's a standard attack or a counter attack, it's the difference of about 70 damage, or more than 70 damage. That's almost 100. That's more than 100. Jesus. I think that's about 130 points of difference, which is immense, all things considered. Give me something, please. No? Well, I will have to ask for your friend in the next room for some help then. I think I can still do jumping attacks in this game, so I might try to do that if the opportunity presents itself. Such as now. There you go. That's some good damage. What is that? 563? That's nice. This weapon is actually doing better, even without the buff, than my hammer from the previous recording. So I'm going to keep with this greatsword. I'm glad that I'm able to make some use of it. Make some use with it? Make use of it. I don't like adding some into that sentence. Now, why was that 369 instead of 400 and something, despite being a strong attack? Like, how were you armored in that moment to the extent where it would deal so little damage? One thing I am indeed sick of when it comes to these monsters is getting ore stones instead of armor. That's garbage. Manic Doom would be a treat to watch. Yeah, no, probably not. Well, for you, perhaps, but it wouldn't be a treat for me to watch back, I don't think. So, just to discuss something that I noticed when I was playing in my own time, and I was very disappointed with myself when I realized it. I haven't even upgraded my chime. I think it's a symptom of what I was describing in the previous recording where I said that I haven't been upgrading anything that's not permanent. I didn't even have like a conscious thought process that led me to fail to upgrade my chime. It was all subconscious. It was the realization that my chime that I was using was not forever. It was just what I was using in that moment for basic miracle casting. I wasn't really making use of damage miracles all that much. I did admittedly have lightning spear, but wasn't really using it very much. So while I didn't experience a huge detriment by failing to upgrade my chime, it's still something that I really need to focus on now that I'm wanting to build my faith build, or improve upon my faith build. So what I'm going to do is acquire a replacement chime that I do indeed want to upgrade. That is going to be... what's his name again? He has a covenant, but you see, you can either go through his quests or progress through his covenant in order to receive it as a covenant reward, or you can just kill him and pick it up from his dead body. Now, obviously, it's not a good idea to do that if you intend to get the other rewards from his covenant, but I don't actually want those rewards. I looked through them, and while they are relevant to a faith build, it's nothing that I actually want. It's basically those hexes that you cast in exchange for your HP when you cast them. And pretty much the more HP you sacrifice, the more damage it deals. I don't really have a reason to use that right now. And quite frankly, the convenience of just getting the talisman immediately, well, I'm calling it a talisman, I think it's a chime, effectively. It's part of the chime category. It's what is used to cast hexes and miracles. So I think strictly that is a chime. The chime that he drops there, it's enough of a temptation to forego those hexes that I just mentioned, just to be able to get it over and done with as little time passing as possible. What I might do is make use... Sorry, not Cathedral of Blue. I might make use of the 62,000 souls that I currently have on hand by purchasing life gems. No, Ethan. We're not... I don't have any availability after this. I have things that I need to do. But we will organize a time to get this this idea that you have on paper and well developed. I'm pretty much spending all of my available time this morning, or today, doing these live streams, so it's not going to work today, but at a certain point I will indeed try to flesh this idea out with you. I think the more you explain it to me, the more I'm going to want to do it. One thing that I will also mention is that if you're doing hexes and miracles, it's probably better to have a chime dedicated to both. Sorry, not both. To one or the other. Meaning you'll have two chimes equipped. Now this is a game where you can actually do that, because this is the first Souls game where you can actually have three things equipped at one time. So, or rather, three things equipped in one hand. And so, I think I will make the chime that I was mentioning before for anything that relates to Lightning BNS, and then anything that relates to Dark BNS, I will actually use the chime that you get from Nishandra's soul. So that's obviously going to be more of a late game thing. In the meantime, that chime that I mentioned should work fine for hexes. At the end of the day, it scales with your faith, which I think has a magic adjustment value, doesn't it? Or is magic adjust not in this game? Maybe it's just all done through BNS. And however that scales, it's possible. I think it's just cast speed that varies purely based on the chime itself, and then whatever scaling that exists with the chime, I think, is BNS focused, which will therefore augment the damage of whatever miracle that is damage based that you are casting. So that is to say, if you are casting a dark miracle, I don't think there's any... Yeah, see, that's precisely what it is. You can see that it's not scaling based on any sort of faith stat. It scales off the BNS. That's just how this game works. I need to remind myself of that. So, your faith scaling, or rather the amount of faith that you have, will determine how much damage you're going to deal with lightning BNS. And while you do get a benefit from faith in terms of dark BNS, it's not as high as intelligence. So that is one problem. Let's look at my stats and see what I'm dealing with. I've got 90 dark BNS. So it looks like dark actually will benefit considerably more from intelligence as compared to fire, for example. It seems like fire does increase almost in tandem with lightning, which is really interesting. Maybe that makes the... Well, that's actually really interesting. That's intriguing. So, by the looks of it, the Black Knight weapons that I snubbed previously are actually just as worthwhile using, just about, as lightning weapons, based on the BNS that I have at this time. I'm going to test that 1 second. Let's find out. How much is my fire BNS increasing when I upgrade my faith at this point? Wow. And then intelligence? It's the same. What does that mean? That means faith must actually be better for fire. Because if I'm getting the same increase from 14 intelligence versus 45 faith, must be better through faith, right? Because you would expect it to diminish once you've gotten to 45 faith, but no, that's not what's happening. So, my recollection that fire BNS is attached to intelligence is actually incorrect. How it works is that intelligence BNS would be more closely linked to magic BNS and dark BNS, whereas faith is linked to fire and lightning. That's not to suggest that intelligence doesn't affect fire at all, and I think it does have an effect on lightning as well, it's just considerably less. So, that's good information. No, fair enough, Hossein. I'm pretty certain that you're going to get more enjoyment out of looking into Souls lore than you are with Monster Hunter lore. But as far as playing it, I don't know. I would never enjoy looking through Souls lore more than I would enjoy playing the damn game, as you suggest, but everyone's different. Alright, so my conclusion that I've just come to regarding Fire BNS, and I probably should have checked it earlier, rather than just going on, or going off a recollection that I had regarding Fire BNS. What it's actually led to is the realization that I should go and get the Black Knight weapons. I already have the Black Knight Great Axe, which I might actually put back into my inventory. I think I put it away in the previous recording. How do I put back into my box? Sure, there's a button that I can press to get over onto that side. Item box. Oh, if I go back, maybe I can... What button do I press? Oh, I think it's, yeah, there you go, RB. It's not that complicated. Although I'm sure I made it appear as if it was. No! Press the right buttons if you wouldn't mind. Seriously. Okay. Now, a C scaling with Fire BNS will likely increase as I level this weapon up. This presumably levels up through Twinkling Titanite, which I should have in abundance considering that I haven't upgraded anything else with Twinkling Titanite just yet. I do have it in abundance, but I think I would prefer to focus on the Ultra Greatsword? I don't think I would actually, now that I think about it, and I'll tell you why. I've got a few Ultra Greatsword. In fact, I've got the Lost Sinners Ultra Greatsword, and the one that I made off camera, which was the Drake Blood Ultra Greatsword. So I think it would be more interesting to actually use the Black Knight Great Axe. for purposes of variety. What I will say is that that is the priority over the Ultra Greatsword. I will make the Ultra, or rather I will acquire and upgrade the Ultra Greatsword as well for the Black Knight set, but to say it more specifically, I will upgrade the Black Knight Ultra Greatsword as well, but it's less of a priority compared to this, because this is more unique. So let's focus on this for now. I don't have enough Twinkling Titanite, but I can purchase more from the Stone Trader, I believe. Literally 3 more, which is pathetic.
Visit me.
Visit me again.
Well, with the attire that she has donned, I can assure you that I will be doing more than visiting her again. Anyway. 681. So, it's going to move a little differently to that of an Ultra Greatsword. It's more of a horizontal strike that is about at chest level, whereas an Ultra Greatsword is striking down. I think the implication there is that it's a very heavy weapon, so the hunter strike, or rather the player, the character, how do I refer to him? The guy, the hollowed man, let's just say the character struggles to keep the sword held above him, or above the ground, so it slams into the earth, in a way. That's cool. Well, there's another weapon for us. 681. What is the scaling? It remains C, but it increases to an A scaling in strength. That is something that I will be working on. I will be increasing my strength stat, and probably my faith stat as well. I think I'll go 50-50. Like 50 strength and 50 faith, which I can do in time, but right now that's not the priority. I'm going to hold off on that. It's going to involve grinding the Giant Lord, which I'm happy to do on camera. It's actually a bit of fun. But for the moment, I'll focus on building my loadouts. This is where my conundrum begins. One thing that I do want to work on is the Sunlight Covenant. That's going to involve actually leveling up the Covenant. But if I level up the Covenant and then leave it, I think I lose my levels in it. I could be wrong, I should double check that. I think that's how it was in Dark Souls, but maybe Dark Souls 2 changed that. Let's find out. The reason why that's important is because to grind the Ruined Sentinels, the Covenant that I'm currently in, I think it's the Brotherhood of something, whatever, it prevents despawning of those Ruined Sentinels, so that way I can grind them for as long as necessary in order to get their armor pieces. If I leave that Covenant, and then I'm in the Sunlight Covenant, it just means that I'm not going to be able to go back to that for a while in order to grind the Ruined Sentinel set. I'm going to be basically committed, possibly, to staying with the Sunlight Covenant until I get to level 30, at which point I will receive the Sunlight Spear, yeah. Let's see if I'm correct. Souls. Covenants. Leave Covenant. How do I leave a Covenant? Joining and leaving Covenants according to the Dark Souls Reddit community. There's no penalty for leaving a Covenant. In fact, there's no penalty at all unless you've actually donated. Okay, unless you've actually donated to a Covenant. But this is 13 years ago, so this is in relation to the original Dark Souls. So how about Dark Souls 2? That was my mistake. I typed Dark Souls instead of Dark Souls 2. So it is actually possible to move back and forth between Covenants by using the cat in Majula to abandon one Covenant for another. So does that mean that if I am leveling up a Covenant, provided that I leave it through the cat, it will retain my progress if I choose to leave it? Let's see what the cat does. It's interesting. Haven't spoken to this cat in a while. Good day.
Seems that we must now part. Why now? Just
It does matter, I need your services. When it says abandoned covenant, what... Okay. Ah, I see. So that's why. She's actually keeping track of my rank, so if I abandon covenants through her, I should be able to retain my rank. How interesting is that? Just goes to show how little I've remembered about how this game works. So I think I should be okay to do that. I should be okay to join the Sunlight Covenant and then maybe move back to the one in Majula if I want to take a break from that and instead grind for my armor set. I am somewhat regretting choosing probably one of the rarest, if not the rarest armor set in the game to use for this build, but it'll be worth it in the sense that I'll have a sense of achievement when I have the full set, so yeah, that's nice. Alright. I might not join it just yet. I will soon, though. There is actually something that relates to this hole that I can engage with right now. What? Yeah, just put the light. Oh, you motherfucker. Don't waste your time. Believe me. You would very much like it if I spent my time working with you, my friend. Is there anything I can do with the old Dragon Slayer soul? Otherwise, I'll make use of it by consuming it. Let's see. Basically what I can do with this big hole in Majula is I can go down there and acquire another Great Lightning Spear, which will be good for increased uses, obviously. Now, Old Dragon Slayer. Just want to see what I'm missing out on if I consume the soul. Dragon Slayer Spear. I think that is actually a faith weapon. Yeah, it has lightning BNS. I don't know if it's any good though. It wasn't that good in the original Dark Souls, and to be honest, it doesn't look that good here either. So I'm looking at 180 damage with 105 lightning with an A scaling in dex. Obviously, that's not appropriate for my current build, but more than that, even if it were a dex build that I was making, I don't think that would be a good choice. I just think it's a shitty weapon. Just goes to show that it's crap not only in Dark Souls, but also in the second iteration of the Dark Souls games. So, that's pretty disappointing, and I'm now, without hesitation, going to consume the soul from the Ornstein lookalike. Hello. What did I forget this time? I forgot to give you money. So stop carping about the fact that I'm talking to you, you stupid man. Your fucking job is to make ladders. Just don't even talk to me. I'm making use of your services, and nothing more. I have no desire to even speak with you, really. Okay, so I believe we use the longest ladder, and then we drop down a bit, do we? Oh no, what we do is we use this ladder, and then I think we go up this one, and that should give us access to a chest, provided we have the Forgotten Key, I think. I don't have the Forgotten Key. Very well. I think the Forgotten Key is acquired in the Black Gulch. Am I right about that? I look like I had an earpiece in. I'm like, is that correct? Do I have the correct intel? Can someone confirm? Is it the Black Gulch? No, sorry. I was just I was scratching my ear and making it look like I had an earpiece in. Anyway, it's all good. I could always pretend to do that. We were talking about role-playing in Monster Hunter just before, in the previous live stream. Maybe I can role-play as if I'm, you know, doing an interview in the 1980s. Anyway. Maybe not from here. I think it would actually be harder to go from here, so I will go from the very first bonfire. I believe I'm correct that I get the Forgotten Key from here. Either that, or where I think I'm going to end up, requires the Forgotten Key. It's one or the other. Actually, it's not here that I dropped, sorry. That was incorrect. Lucatiel is here. Good day. Well, actually, I can drop here and end up where I want to go, ironically. Let's quickly consume my only green moss that I possess. Was not expecting that. Oh, it is a door that requires the Forgotten Key. Where do I get the Forgotten Key? I have forgotten. Hence the name. I have little doubt that I'm not the first person to make that joke. Okay. But yeah, I do actually need this key in order to access Dark Diver Grandal, who is the person that I want to kill for the chime that I was talking about earlier on in the video. So, I do need this. Apparently you access him in the same place where I thought I was going to get the key anyway, so... Excuse me. Apparently you actually get it here. What the fuck? Oh no, it's a different key. Okay, so the Forgotten Key is where I thought it was. I'm in the correct location to get the Forgotten Key. It's just that I need another key to get through this fucking door. Am I correct? Yeah, it says you kill 2 giants hidden underneath the Black Gulch. Well, that's precisely where I am now. Oh, no, no, no. I'm wrong. I got confused. I think I can continue, can't I? Yes, yes, that's what it is. Okay. Very good. My memory is just hazy. I haven't forgotten where the Forgotten Key is. I was in the right area. It's just... It's not as easy as you might think. I'm assuming I can actually... What? That's crazy. I can take this weapon and imbue it with lightning, which is really funny. I don't think I want to do that, but... Anyway. I think the Forgotten Key drops when you kill both giants. Can I just say that killing these giants is really hard. Depending on your build, it can be nigh on impossible. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and coax one of them out. I don't want to fight both of them at the same time. That's miserable. Why is it going over you like that? Did it go in between his legs twice and then over his head once? Is that what happened? Is that the explanation? They both move as one, these pricks. Alright, just one of them, please. I want one of them to leash, and I want the other one to try and fight me, please. I cannot contend with 2 of you at once. It's not an option. Oh my god. Does my shield even work against you? What's the point of having a shield if it doesn't work at all? Oh my god, look at their damage. This is terrible. Well, what I tend to do in this location is I pick up, I find all of the spoils and loot the place without finding them, but I don't have that option. I'm pretty sure to get the Forgotten Key, I do actually need to kill them, so... Yeah, that's nasty. Let me just make sure that I'm correct about that, though. Oh no, maybe I can loot it without killing them. What is in here? I don't remember. Ring of Giants +1. But I've already got the +2 ring, because I have killed the Giant Lord. There's a lot of giant yelling down here. Oh god. I'd love to poison you. Ow. I don't think Dark Storm's gonna help. No. It doesn't have enough range to actually do anything. I don't know how to deal with both of them. I think you know what I'm going to have to do? It's my only option. I think I need to go and get some poison throwing knives and just do it that way. I don't remember where to get poison throwing knives, but I think that's my only option. Yes, Oseen, I forgot that I didn't forget. That's right. Still works with the name Forgotten Key. It's just a different kind of forgetfulness. It's a transcendental form of forgetfulness. Alright, who the hell sells poison throwing knives? There are a few vendors that I can think of, but I suppose I do have the power of the internet at my fingertips. Who sells them? Lonesome Gavlan. It is Gavlan. 350 souls each. 20 only each encounter. And then an unlimited supply in the Doors of Pharos. That's good news. Because I can get to the Doors of Pharos without much difficulty whatsoever. Question is... Yes, I did. I did go to the Doors of Pharos, and I did rest at the... Well, I think you have to go to the Doors of Pharos, but you don't have to go through it. You can actually bypass the Doors of Pharos without actually sitting at the bonfire, but I'm happy to say that I had the presence of mind to sit at the bonfire when I was here, so that's good news. I can go and purchase a number of poison-throwing knives from our dear friend, Gavlan. Gavlan wheel, Gavlan deal. He's wheeling and dealing, that is the point. And I think to get some souls, what I might do is kill our dear friend, the Giant Lord. He is effectively my sugar daddy. It's just to get my money, I have to shake him like a piñata. Well, break him like a piñata. Not just break him, but kill him. Which is probably also like a piñata. If you were to liken the sort of damage that you need to deal to a piñata in order to get it to reveal its spoils, if you were to liken that sort of damage to, you know, a person or an animal, it's pretty devastating. I can imagine most animals dying with that sort of damage. Anyway, we have only asceticized this bonfire twice. It is at level 3. So I think we need to take it to level 4 now. That Sacred Oath miracle that just appeared on the loading screen is actually something that we do want to get, but we do need to kill Velstat again. We have already used a bonfire ascetic on that bonfire, we just need to take the time to go and kill him. I was not at all in the mood to do it in the previous recording. I might be this time around, but depending on what I'm doing, I may not actually have the time. I might be focused on other things, so it might be a later recording where I do that. I have been live for 48 minutes, so I'm only going to be live for another 40 minutes beyond that. Possibly even less. I might actually use this great axe for the next fight. Might be fun. See how effective it is. What I will do though is not use my current stuff. There's one thing I wanted to show you guys as well that I forgot. So I have actually joined the Sunlight Covenant already, but I haven't stayed in the Covenant, obviously. Now, there is one thing that you get by joining the Covenant that's actually quite useful for faith builds. That is the Sun Ring. It's right here, or the Sun Seal, whatever you want to call it. I also have the Northern Ritual Band +2, which I was considering using, but then I saw just how much HP I lose in exchange for additional spell uses. Or in this case, miracle uses. Not worth it. Not for the kind of build that I'm going for anyway. So yeah, let's make sure that we get our equipment on. I think I equipped the... No, I didn't equip the wrong thing. Very good. Let's go. I also realized that I can technically get better item discovery than I already have. What I can do is use not just the Jester's Helmet and the Gold Serpent Ring, but I can also equip the Prisoner's Chest Piece. It is a rather weak... Ugh. Did I die? I almost did. Thought I had my shield raised. I guess these guys are just so damn strong that it doesn't even matter. That is one of the very rare occasions that I actually died before I even got to the Giant Lord. That almost never happens. That's ridiculous. Oh well. I think the reason why is because I usually approach it very differently. I usually go straight in, which means that the giants are further away, but I was delayed this time in getting into the boss room because I had to make sure my armor set was correct. Unfortunately, in making sure that my defense was adequate for the fight, I basically sealed my own demise. Or ensured my own demise. As you can see, the giants are a lot easier to deal with if you get into there faster. Don't do that. I might actually use Sunlight Blade on this axe, seeing as I'm going to use the axe anyway. I don't see why not. And we'll go two-handed with our axe. Damage is still not that good, but he is admittedly effectively New Game +2, which is why he one-shot me. Just means that I don't want to go in there with limited mobility, that is the point. I'm also not going to overcomplicate the situation by buffing my weapon as well. Buffing my weapon is just adding an additional distraction to the whole process, and it's just not helpful. So I'm going to do this, two-handing with fast rolling, and hopefully I will get more success out of that arrangement. Fuck's sake. Big reduction in health, but I'm trying to grit my teeth and tolerate it. And to not allow myself to get annoyed by my poor performance. I couldn't even finish my sentence before I performed poorly again regarding something else. Thank you for dying. For fuck's sake. The point, indeed, is not to try and roll through the sword, because it turns out when the sword has actually hit the ground and come to a fucking stop for a full frame or 2 or 5, it will still hit you, because fuck everything, this is Dark Souls 2 and you can just eat this shit sandwich. Open your mouth and eat this shit sandwich. I am Dark Souls 2. Seriously. It's fucking unfair. Like, I know how to time it, but apparently you need absolutely perfect timing to not get hit by that shit. So what I have to do is not evade the sword, per se. I need to evade the ranged attack of the sword, which I will demonstrate in no time at all. Come on. And now we close the distance. What the fuck am I getting hit by? Your mere presence is causing me to lose health at this point. Why is my damage higher now than it was before? How does adding Sunlight Blade to this reduce the damage? Can someone explain that to me? Am I going crazy? Oh, you know what it is? Sunlight Blade is not adding on to the fire damage. It's cancelling it out, which means, therefore, that the Giant Lord is weak to fire. And not lightning, obviously. Well, that's good to know. That's very good news. That means this is a good weapon to use against this oversized prick. I'm not actually targeting him here so that I have full control over my character's movements. If you target anything, what ends up happening is you just have a little bit less accuracy of movement. You almost get... You're sort of stuck in the movements of the monster, or the enemy. You know, you have to move along with however they're moving. I actually have a lot of experiences where if I'm having trouble with a boss, like I'm killing it time and time again, I'm having real difficulty, I can't make any headway, and it's just frustratingly impossible to kill it, what I've actually done, just to mix up the strategy a little bit, to change tack, what I'll actually do is try doing the boss fight without actually targeting the boss at all. And it's given me great results. It's just one of these weird things where I keep forgetting that that's an option, and I have actually forgotten it for a long time. The last time I did that against a boss was many, many years ago, but it's been really helpful. I think that's one of the secret techniques that you can make use of in the Souls series. It is to not force yourself to be locked into the flow of whatever the monster is doing. It is actually to remain completely untargeted, or to remain without a target, and at that point you can actually have a bit more control over your movements, which in certain confrontations, from my personal experience, is the difference between being able to dispatch the enemy with ease and experiencing absolute misery and lack of success. So there you go. I have some souls now. So what was I going to do with these again? Oh yeah, I was going to buy a shitload of poison throwing knives. How many do I have at the moment? Probably not all that many. I have 31. Fair enough. Let us move to the Black Gulch. Yes, I'm happy with this bonfire. In fact, I actually like my technique where I drop down and then drop down again. That ends up being a pretty good strategy. Oh, did I drop too soon? I dropped too soon. One thing that is utterly intolerable is losing the souls that I just acquired. I have to ensure that that doesn't happen. Weirdly enough, and someone's going to pull me up on this, if not in the VOD, then certainly in the live stream, but I think you guys have too much faith in me. It is the following question: what on earth are you doing in the Black Gulch, Doomlink? This is not where you want to be. You do ultimately want to be here, but the reason why you got those souls was so that you could go to the doors of Faris, speak to Gavlan, and get his fucking poison throwing knives. What are you doing in the Black Gulch? Thank you for pulling me up, even though none of you did, but that's alright. I think there is an expectation that I'm not borderline retarded, so yeah. You probably thought there was a reason behind me doing that. Where's Gavlan? Isn't this supposed to be his final location? Or is that only in Scholar of the First Sin? Poison throwing knife location in Dark Souls 2. Sold by Lonesome Gavlan. Unlimited supply in the doors of Faris. Where is he? I can assure you I didn't kill him. What's your problem? I was looking at the wiki. Do you think I have time for you? Are you Gavlan? Of course he wears that outfit. Maybe I didn't talk to him in... what's it called? No Man's Wharf. Maybe if I didn't talk to him in No Man's Wharf, he won't actually move to the doors of Faris. So I might give that a try. 20 poison throwing knives is not enough, by the way. I need to get more than that. I do very much enjoy having the aged feather at my disposal. It's good to have on hand. Alright, so we're going to No Man's Wharf. This is becoming a little bit more of a diversion than I expected. No, you're welcome to question me. I'm not above making mistakes. Oh man. What's the easiest way to get to him? I'm just trying to think. I think progressing naturally through the area is what's necessary. I'm at a level where I really shouldn't be concerned about any of these enemies, so I think I'm just going to run through them. That was scary. Almost peed a little. Except that I didn't. Just thought I would say that for some sort of comedic effect. But I didn't commit to it at all. I'm trying to remember if he's in that building or in the building behind me. It's been a while. Maybe I'll have to actually kill these enemies so that I can explore this area properly. These Vangarians are not pursuing me. In fact, their hesitancy is concerning to me. How fucking close do I have to go to you people to actually be able to make use of this damn miracle? Hello, anyone? Anyone at all? Isn't there one in here too? How many of them are there? He's dead. I think I killed him. It's good news. Of course, they're all hesitant not because I am so intimidating. It's because of the torches that I've lit, I think. Right? Something like that. Speaking of hesitancy, go away. I'm bouncing off the wall now because I'm eating the Dark Souls 2 shit sandwich. I have way too many souls to be fucking around with you people. Okay, it's not in this building. It's been so long since I've talked to Gavlan in this location, so I just don't know where the hell to go. Goodbye. Okay. Possibly in this building? I don't know. I'm going to have to check them all because I'm just not sure. I'm keeping my health in check. Next building? Or is there an upstairs here that I didn't see? There is an upstairs here that I didn't see. I'm glad I checked. The thing is, if I can't remember where he is, it means that he could be in almost any building. I think I know where he is. It is over there, I think. I think I got it right the first time. It was so lit around here that I really did think, and I do mean lit as in illuminated, not lit as in whatever that weapon was, that word was reused to. Redefined, we'll say. However, that word was redefined later on. Yeah, I actually thought it was because I had activated that Faris Lockstone just back there, but no. That was just me lighting torches previously. One would assume. Is it the building over here? Or was it the one with those long-armed enemies? I think in here. I believe so. Gavlan wheel, Gavlan deal. A profound statement, to be sure. There is something I cannot access. I would like to wheel and deal with Mr. Gavlan. Seriously. Or rather, I would like to be in receipt of his deals. They must be good. It's his catchphrase, you know. There will be a building that contains him, I can assure you. Could be this one. Yeah, I bet it's this one. In fact, this is the one that I thought that one was. So I think my recollections are correct. I think this is the Gavlan building. That is the official title of this place. Yeah, this weapon is cool. If there is no upstairs here, it means that this is not the building that I thought it was. I'm sure I will find Gavlan eventually. I might also mention that this is not a case where Gavlan has disappeared, because I haven't actually found the building where he is normally residing in anyway, because I would recognize it. So, I don't know where the hell he is. It's been too long. I went into there, but I didn't go over there, so it could be in there. But I don't think so. No, I think it's the first building. Hilariously, I think it's the first building of No Man's Wharf. But I'm not using the aged feather, I've killed too many enemies. So I need to try and find my way back up. Is it through here? I think so. Just for some poison throwing knives to kill some fucking giants. All this work. Is there even a way back? Because I know that there used to be a shortcut. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say used to be. I know that there was a shortcut in Scholar of the First Sin, but I don't think it's here. So if there is no shortcut, right, to link the beginning of the area to where I currently am, how the hell do I get back? Is it, oh, I do it this way, I think, yes. Okay. So there was a bridge that you used to be able to kick down over there. I keep saying used to be. I don't know why I keep saying that, considering that Scholar of the First Sin came after what I'm playing right now. It's very misleading. Oh. Yes, okay. That was lovely, thank you for all that. Now, as I say, I think Gavlan's in this building over here, the very first one. Which is really quite sad that I needed to go all that way just to remember that he was in the first building. I would like to wheel and deal, Mr. Gavlan. Where are you? I know you're here, asshole. You must be. How many fucking buildings do I have to check? Like I said, it's not like he's moved on. I haven't been able to find the place where he is. Because I would recognize it, asserts the person who has little to no memory of which building he's in. But you'll just have to trust me. Oh, my weapon's breaking. Fuck off. Titanite charm. Get out of my face, and let me equip another weapon, please. How many buildings could there possibly be in this godforsaken location? How many must I check before I find or don't find Gavlan? Is he in here? I almost cannot believe it. Not in my wildest dreams. Get out of my way, motherfucker. Longsword? Unhelpful. What would be much more helpful is finding Gavlan. Or the building where he once resided in, so that I can definitively say that he's moved on. If he has moved on, then God knows where he is. Maybe he's somewhere in Harvest Valley. I think he's got a location there. I could be totally wrong, but... ugh, fuck. The frustration is palpable, and I'm becoming increasingly frustrated. Come on. How many of you do I have to kill? It's actually extraordinary how many of them there are in this location. Could you imagine going through... well, you don't need to imagine, you've probably experienced it, but imagine going through here with a level appropriate loadout. Come on. Oh my god, how many enemies are there? Wasn't there a guy who fell down here very awkwardly and was... okay, no, that was the Vangarian. Thought it was a different guy. Get up here. Shit. How many buildings are there? How have I not yet found it? I have it on good authority. That authority being my memory. That he is in one of these buildings. But I have yet to find a building that is even remotely reminiscent of the one where he can be found in. And I obviously haven't found him either. So where the hell has he gone? It's definitely not in here. I've already been here. And it doesn't look like the building. I believe it's an upstairs location. Like you go up the stairs in a building, and he will be there. And well, I don't know where it is anymore. I thought I did, but now I don't. It could be here. Be wary of pointless. No more. It can't be that. Could it looks similar to that building, but still, I think the one that actually contains him is larger than that. Where is Gavlan? Or at least, where is his building? Could it be? literally the last place that I have looked. I think one of the last places. Could it be in there? It's in there! It is the last fucking building that I have checked. Unbelievable. Fuck off. Now I'm bleeding. Yeah, if you'd like to attack me, it would be brilliant if you did that. Goodbye. Gavlan is here. This prick. There he is.
Who are you?
Who are you? How about you stop hiding, you cocksucker? No, not that. I want these, please. Thank you. I might actually get the poison moss as well. It's useful. What the hell is exploding? Hello, guys. Hope you're all doing well today. Why are you all alive after that? After all of that? Apparently bleeding will actually reduce your stamina in this game, which is funny. I had forgotten that. Ugh. Again, imagine if I was level appropriate. I'm like soul level 150 something, for fuck's sake. Fuck these enemies. Okay. Give me the broadsword. You destroyed the fucking chest as well with your stupid long arms. I don't remember what's in it, but yeah, if you destroy one of the wooden chests before you actually open it, it will turn its contents into rubbish. So I don't know what it was, I don't remember, but those long-armed motherfuckers destroyed it before I could do anything with it. I will exhaust Gavlan's dialogue just in case it's necessary to get him to move on. A Gurm Great Axe, okay.
Gavlan will, Gavlan deal.
I agree.
Gavlan wants soul. Many, many soul.
What happens when you run out of alcohol? Surely that's not like
With Gavlan,
the magic pancake.
you deal.
Yeah, right. Shut up. I didn't mean to talk to you again. I'm talking random nonsense. Prick. Do you know how much time I spent looking for you? Now he'd better go to the doors of Pharos. Because I have more poison throwing knives to purchase from him. I think you can hold a total of 99. And I want that. I'm going to buy in excess of what I can actually hold. I believe this was the first game where anything that exceeds what your character can actually hold in their inventory will automatically be put into storage. It was either this game or Dark Souls 3. I don't remember precisely which one did it first, but oh, for fuck's sake, why is he not here? I just found him in his first location, exhausted his useless dialogue, and he's still not here. Why? Lonesome Gavlan. Okay, so okay, and then he goes to Harvest Valley. Who's attacking me again? It is my friend, the guy who looks like Gavlan but isn't. It's my fault for allowing that to happen twice now. Fuck's sake. Maybe he stays in Harvest Valley in the original Dark Souls 2. I just don't remember where in Harvest Valley, for fuck's sake. Like, I've got no recollection of where he is there. It's been too long. I might need to remind myself. Anyway. What's the best way to do that? I guess Google. Dark Souls 2. Gavlan, Harvest Valley. Gavlan's second location, Dark Souls 2. That should be sufficient. Recorded back when the game came out. Oh. Yes, I do remember him being there. Okay. I do need to make sure that I go and get my souls, though. That was a lot to lose. 230,000 or something like that. But first, I'm going to kill this prick. Be careful, Toon Link. I don't need to be. Now, I haven't actually used the Gurm Great Hammer in a build, but I have used the Gurm Great Axe. It's actually quite a small hand axe. It's short, I guess I'd say, but it's very wide. It's a decent strength weapon. But I don't really want to make it. Not in this game. I say make it, but I actually mean acquire it. Whenever I say make a weapon instead of acquire it, it's because I play too much Monster Hunter. It's the same thing when I say monster instead of enemy. Alright, I'm going to Harvest Valley. First bonfire. I think. I believe. Fortunately, the reason why I did a jump there was because I was remembering a time when... Oh, for fuck's sake, that falling damage! Jesus. That's actually disgusting, that falling damage. What were they thinking? He's in here, isn't he? There he is. Govlon will. Govlon know you. You go home. Well, I'm about to go home. From whatever. Whatever. I'm a skeleton. With a wobbly head. I'm a bobblehead skeleton. Welcome to Dark Souls 2. Are you hungry? Well, I have a shit sandwich for you. Now eat it. Yummy yummy. Huge falling damage. Weak player. Or weak character, whatever you want to say. This time I will be able to avoid the poison. Although I will stand here and wait for... No, where is he? Did he disappear? I thought he permanently was here. Where is he? Does he just disappear when you talk to him once? Govlon know you. You had better have gone to the doors of Pharos, or I will actually... I will implode. I will actually melt into myself. Yeah, I'm also hungry. I need to eat after this. The stream is not actually going to go on for much longer. I do have things to do, and I also need to eat. Ugh. It was an early morning for me today. Come on. If he's not here, I'm going to cry. And I'm going to die. Gonna lose my shit. Thank you. I have to visit you in 3 fucking locations to get you here, but before I engage you, I need to remember that I have this asshole slowly trundling towards me, perambulating in my general direction, and he will eventually reach me. Alright. Sure. It looks like this is not the game where if you buy an amount of something that is exceeding what you can hold, it will automatically go into storage. That seemingly was introduced in Dark Souls 3. I think I'm correct in saying that, but anyway, could always be wrong as well. But quite obviously, it is not a thing in this game, and that's fine. I just start to forget what is actually... like what was newly implemented in what game when I'm playing multiple versions. Same thing with Monster Hunter. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to conclude this live stream. I just have less available time today, unfortunately. But what I can commit to is more frequent recordings of Souls in general. You're going to see more Dark Souls 2, you're going to see more Dark Souls 1. I may also return to Demon Souls if I'm in the mood. But that's not going to actually prevent me from doing Monster Hunter recordings. That's still going to happen, but I think you're going to see a little bit less of it. Not a huge amount less. Again, I just want to stress that it's not the end of Monster Hunter content on my channel. I just need to get a bit of variety. And what I hope is that those of you who watch my Monster Hunter stuff are fairly likely to enjoy watching me play Souls as well. I'm sort of banking on that. If in the end you're not that interested, then so be it. But yeah, I'll be doing this for a little while. I do thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time I'm live, and I bid you all farewell for now. Bye bye.